Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fandom Family Chats. I'm Jeanette.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Eve.
And we're back for another discussion of Station 19 and Grey's Anatomy. Good episodes again this week. They've been kind of on a roll. I think this season, like every episodes have been really good.
Yep.
But this week, Station 19, of course, we start there. And we've had sort of a rotating, like everyone's been on desk duty. This week, Ben was on desk duty. And of course, he got kind of an interesting, but like really like confusing patient that freaked me out, by the way.
That guy's famous, right?
He looked familiar to me, but I couldn't place it.
Anybody
And it's
know?
always hard to look up like a guest star on a show. I hate doing that because then you have to find the specific episode and look at who played in that episode. So I didn't get that far, but he definitely looked familiar.
Eve, what were you gonna say?
I was just really confused about what this guy's deal was because he just kept having random symptom after random symptom. And even Ben at one point was like, well, it could be this. But then this symptom doesn't make sense. So that's why I'm thinking it's this. But then because you have another symptom, it can't be this. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Well,
Like,
and it didn't help that poor Ben was like, I feel like he was off his game because he was just so worried about Miranda after like the news that they kept hearing. And I thought that was interesting how they weaved that in this week. That, you know, because Station 19 airs before Grey's Anatomy. So what happened on Grey's Anatomy, we hadn't really seen. I liked how we weaved it in so like we had picked up right where we left off on Station 19. Now, like, you know, this has happened over at the clinic and like no one really knows anything yet.
I like that too. I do have a question because I feel like I forgot something. When did Ben start like going back into action and getting off of desk duty after the whole Prue thing?
I don't know. Honestly, I thought about that too. But
like, did something change? And I feel like I had to have missed something.
you know, I'm really wondering that too. Was it like a gradual thing where they just kind of like slowly gave up on the idea of him being on desk duty all the time?
Or unless, I mean, I'm trying to remember what he did last week because I know it was a fire last week, but was he like in the middle of all of it or was he doing more like paramedic type stuff? I can't remember. Because maybe that's the case that he's like they don't want him like in like the middle of like all the dangerous stuff, but like can he go along as like a paramedic and like doing stuff like that? Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember what he did last week.
I don't think I remember him being like right there in the middle of, you know, fire rescues.
So maybe that's somehow they've toned that down to where he's not running into like the burning buildings.
Well,
like,
who picked up Beckett last week?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I feel like it was
Sullivan?
Ben.
I think it was Sullivan.
Was it Sullivan?
Yeah, I think it was Sullivan because I remember like somebody picking him up. I mean, it's gonna be some big dude. Like I think it was Sullivan.
I might have to go back and rewatch now.
Now I want
and try to figure it out.
I had to go watch all of the episodes since then to see has Ben been like involved in like a fire, you know?
Station 19 is so confusing in that way because, you know, Chicago and then also 911 are very clear about like who their paramedics are. Like
what?
911, you know, they also go into the fires and everything, but like we know who the paramedics are, but that's not really made clear on Station 18. It's like
I think they all are on Station 19. They all have been trained in paramedics. Like I think they can all do all those kinds of things, which I'm trying to think. I think that's how it is here in Kentucky. If I'm thinking about it correctly, that if you're a firefighter, you're also like like you can be an EMT. Like everyone at the fire station has that
firefighters have training.
But if you think about like on 911, the LA one, like Buck is not trained in that kind of stuff. It is only him, Shim, and Eddie. So I wonder if it's just different in different states.
That could be. I know, like in Texas, we have EMTs and firefighters.
Your alls are separate. Like, yeah, which that's the way it is obviously in Chicago. I feel like here, which now
and 911.
Yeah, I mean, but like on Seattle, in Seattle, obviously it's everyone. I have
Yeah.
a friend who's Shelby's friend, her mom is, or her dad, sorry, is a firefighter. So now I kind of want to like reach out. I'm not really friends with him, and I'm friends with her mom. I want to reach out and be like, so I need to know this. Maybe
Yeah,
we have a listener right now that like tell us, like, in your state, like, does this vary? Because now I'm curious, but because it varies on our shows of what like is going
Like,
on.
is each show kind of just doing their own thing about what they think firefighting looks like, or does it truly vary from state to
I
state?
bet
Like,
it does.
we really want to know. We're curious.
Okay, so we went and researched. And Eve, what can you tell us about the EMS situation?
Okay, so I found a quick little blurb, and that's really all it is. It says some departments have firefighter or EMS only roles, so, completely separate, like on Chicago,
Mhm.
while others may require being cross-trained as a firefighter slash EMT. So it's probably something that varies, maybe even city to city, I would think, depending on the resources they need and,
Size and
yeah, exactly.
population. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
go
did
ahead.
you find anything out on that actor that we thought we recognized?
Yes. So I already forgot his name. Look at me. His name is
Joel something?
Joel McKinnon Miller. He's been in a ton of stuff we know. I think the main thing is he was Scully in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which was a big part. So I think that's where I know him from, but he was in a ton of other stuff.
Hmm.
Men in Black, 3 episodes in American Horror Story, Workaholics, 1 episode of Bones. He's been in just, I think he's one of those actors where you just see his face all the
You've seen
time.
her in- Yeah.
You don't really know his name, but you know him.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
love those because I am the person who will pause a TV show and be like,
Oh yeah.
I know them.
Have to.
And I
I
have to
did
pause
that.
what I'm doing. So, getting back into Station 19, now that we have our answers,
Yes.
we went off and deep dived. Ben is working on Joel, which I don't know his name in the show, but we're going to call him Joel because that's his real name.
Yeah.
So, not 1 second did I think it was a spider bite.
No.
I feel like I usually can be like head on of what things are.
Mhm.
Spider bite never went in my head. Poisoning, venom, nothing. That never entered my brain.
Nope.
Now that I go back and think
Creepy.
about it, it was like right there in our faces.
Yeah. I'm
But no.
terrified of spiders. So like this, I didn't like this at all. I was like, oh my gosh.
Under the watch too. Ooh.
Like
So it was
it
like
freaked me out. I didn't
covered.
care for it. Yeah.
But Ben being Ben, which we all love, saw them as soon as they showed the line going up his arm, I was like, uh-oh. Because that's like
Mhm.
always a telltale sign of like venom or
Venom. Yeah.
yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
uh-oh. But that
Yeah.
was, I don't know, I know it's like a small little story,
Mm-hmm.
but I enjoyed that one. It gave me some mystery.
Yeah, I
I feel
did
like I can
too. And
always
it
like
was,
pinpoint these things, and finally I was like at a loss, which I
Mhm.
liked.
yeah, and I mean, I liked, I don't know. I mean, we probably mentioned this a little bit later on, but I liked like Ben kind of worrying about Miranda.
Yeah.
And I feel like he later on he mentions that this is probably what they feel like all the time with our job. So like for a minute, like you finally got to realize like this is what she goes through every day when you go to work. Like stressing because you can't be
Yeah.
called when you're out on these calls. You just have to sit and hope that you hear from them when everything's okay.
Yeah.
So not that it was like I wanted him to get a taste of that, but like I think it is nice for him to like understand that feeling that everyone that loves him like goes through.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I like that he said that to Maya too,
Mm-hmm.
because I think she needed to hear that
Yeah.
as well and try to understand. We're not going to
Because
get in the whole Karina and Maya thing right now, but I like
yeah.
that he said that to her. I feel like
Well,
she
and I
needed it.
mean, he was so stressed, and I mean, I love him because I would react the same way. But at the same time, like, I mean, the same situation that we'll talk about later, like with Maya here, like, y'all need to hold it together. Like,
Mhm.
you're working right now, and like people's lives are in your hands. And I understand that you're worried about this person you love, but you can't let that like affect you.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
didn't. It bothered me when Maya found out about it all. and she's in the middle of that rescue. I'm like, girl, you just got let back in.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go and try to screw up a rescue?
And like, I understand the feeling. I do, because I am one of the most anxious people that you've ever met. So like, there's no way I'm glad my husband's an accountant. Like, I could not be married to someone whose life would be in danger every day. Like, I would freak out. So like, I get it. But at the same time, like, sometimes you got to hold it together. You know?
I also found it interesting because it's almost like they did a complete 180 on Maya's personality just to try to get us to, like her again, or just like her, period, because I never really loved her from the beginning. But
moments.
I feel like in the past she's always been really good at compartmentalizing to the point where it almost felt unhealthy. Yeah. And now we're seeing her completely be like, she's about to fall off this little cliff in a cave. And I'm like, Maya, pull yourself together.
This is what Diane's work has done for her, man. She's like, she can't compartmentalize anymore, apparently.
She's a new woman.
Diane's just too good.
But this rescue in general was like crazy anyways.
It was.
That girl.
I was so annoyed.
I was so annoyed with her. I'm like, these people are trying to save your life. Like, forget about the live stream.
Yes.
Like, isn't this embarrassing? Like, if I'm in the middle of, being rescued because I just fell over a cliff, like, I'm going to turn that phone off.
Like, you're going to lose me as a follower if I see you, like, putting their lives in danger and being that selfish in this moment. Like, you don't need to be, like, recording for me at this moment. Like, I'm going to be mad at you and, like, probably unfollow you at this point.
And like, who's gonna like unfollow somebody because they're like not talking to them while they're in an emergency? Like, that it just seemed so dumb. And if that is true, if there's actually people out here that are doing that, which I'm sure there
probably is. We are all old and here we're all this like put your phones away kind of thing. Like, my kid will not put hers down for anything. Like, I almost want to make her watch this episode and be like, you may not be like this. I'm just letting you know. Like, you cannot.
And it just felt so selfish because this is their job. They're there to save her life. And her behavior, I was like, she's going to get one of these people who are there to rescue her hurt because she's just obsessed with her phone and sending them to go get her stupid phone. I would have been like, no phone for you.
And I was so mad because I'm like, if you get, like, I mean, I love Travis. Like, if you get him hurt, girl, I will never forgive you for this. But like, Travis, I think we've had this happen in another episode, the one with the mascot and the people fighting or whatever. I love it when Travis gets into that like almost like fatherly, like lectury type role. I absolutely adore it when he's just had enough.
Yep.
And I think that is so, I mean, honestly, great for him and his campaign that was live streaming and they got to see him like take a stand like that, because I'm like, that just earned you some like votes, Travis. Absolutely.
I was hoping it wouldn't hurt him. Like people would get mad that he was lecturing her.
So, because the only people that would get mad were probably people that aren't old enough to vote anyways. Like, I think all of the adults that might have been seeing this,
all the adults in the room.
Absolutely.
And even if they are adults and they still care, then we probably don't want them voting anyway.
Very true.
Yeah.
No, very, very true. Okay. And her poor boyfriend.
Oh, that camera guy. If she does not care about you at all, sir.
I really don't think she does. That was horrible.
And he was talking about how it's like, I will lay in the middle of the road to get the perfect shot for her. I'm like, dude, you need to stop. Like, get rid of that girl.
Oh, he was just about as dumb as she was.
But I don't know. It was stressful. And I mean, like, okay, so before we continue on with like the rescue, we have to talk just a little bit about like Travis in this episode. First of all, with his nightmares, and then second of all, his fears inside of the cave. Like, he had me absolutely rolling with these things.
The dream was funny.
What was it? Like, he won the election.
He won the election.
Fell out.
Yeah.
Like,
that has to mean something.
Well,
it has to. I used to have dreams like that all the time where my teeth would just start falling out.
Well, what did Vic say? She said she would just say it was like pent up sexual tension, because isn't that what they say about like all dreams that are weird like that? Or you know what she said? I don't know. She was funny with that.
I mean, she probably said something like that. But then she came in with a bag.
Yes.
And then Travis is screaming, and she's like, "Did the lions come to get you again?"
What is that? Is that like a dream that he's had before, apparently?
Things are going on in this apartment, and can I please live there? Because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was funny. But Travis
So-
always makes me laugh. What'd you
Why-
say? Or
I looked up what
Oh,
teeth falling out in a dream means.
yeah, what's it mean?
So this is from the sleepfoundation.org. It says people have been guessing about the meaning of dreams for as long as humans have been around, from the writers of Jewish texts like the Eve.
I can't help you. I can't see it.
Torah and
Yeah.
Talmud.
Talmud.
Yeah, that one. Torah and Talmud. Did I say that right?
That's me.
Yeah.
To ancient Egypt and Greek philosophers. Many thinkers originally believed dreams to be means of communication. Dreams about teeth falling out were also thought to Prophesy. What is that?
What? Spell it again?
Prophecy? Prophecy. I don't think I've ever seen the word prophecy like spelled. That's
Oh.
I was about to ask you to spell it so I could write it out and then read it for you.
Prophesy. Prophecy, right?
P-R-O. That doesn't sound right. No, hold on. Spell that one more time. Hold on, let me put it in a message here so I can see. Okay, spell it one more time. P-R-O.
Prophesy.
Okay, no, that is E-S-Y? It should be
ESY.
E-C-Y.
C-Y.
So Sleep Foundation messed up, or is that a different word?
I think they messed up because it should be E-C-Y.
Maybe that's why it doesn't look right to me.
That's probably why.
It looks like it's in just another spelling for it.
There's two spellings for the word prophecy?
God, I hate the English language. It's just-
That's weird. This is the weirdest recording we've ever done, guys.
I
Like,
know. We're just deep diving into everything. So it ranges from paying off debts to losing a loved one. It can be caused from stress, insecurities, anxiety, communication, big decisions coming up, fears, personal growth. So it actually
fits. So someone
it
did the
actually
research.
fits.
Yeah, someone did the research here on the team because that actually works.
Well, when
And
he said
Travis-
that, I knew that was like a big
Yeah.
dream meaning thing.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean,
that was
I
cool.
am an anxious person. I've never dreamed about my teeth falling out.
I don't dream. I don't remember my dreams, at least.
I remember some, but not a lot. But it's
I don't always, but sometimes I do.
interesting.
It is.
But I don't know. I mean, but yeah. So I mean, Travis, I'm glad he stood up to that girl because, like I said, it was getting dangerous. It was getting. I mean, Maya was like hanging over the side of the cliff. And like we said too about her boyfriend, like he was like the real victim here. I mean, this guy like was hurt and like she cared nothing about him. And hearing him like speak about how he felt sort of being like her secret boyfriend and all of this stuff. I mean, this had a lot of foreshadowing to what we saw happen, what we've seen happening with Sullivan and Ross.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought them hearing this speech, I thought the looks they were giving each other, I thought we were going to have a breakthrough and that she was going to be like, you know what? I do love him. And like, we're going to go through the right channels to like make sure that people know this. And then she did something really stupid, in my opinion.
I had no hope. I was like, she's not going to change. He needs to dump her.
I like her so much until this episode that I really had hope. And I mean, I'm mad of all people to choose. Like when she originally went to Andy and said, I'd like to make you interim chief while we wait on Beckett. Even though I still think in my head, I think Sullivan's the one that deserves the job. I think he's the better person for the job at the moment. I was still okay with it because I'm like, you know what, Andy's fine. Like I could be supportive of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then of course Andy came back, she said, I don't want this as an interim position. She said too, I think Sullivan is the person for this. And I mean, why couldn't you give it to him then? Because it wasn't just you. I mean, Andy made the suggestion. So like, it was clear that it wasn't a bias, that he was the person that deserved it.
And like she said, he's well respected
Yeah.
at that station.
I
The
think she's
only-
more scared of everybody finding out that they are together after that, and then they're
Mhm.
going, "Oh, so you gave him the captain position because
But
you
the
guys
thing
were
is,
together?"
I don't think anyone at 19 would feel that way. Now,
I don't
See,
think
I-
anybody at
other places-
19 would. I think she's more scared of higher ups
But then
than
here's
being
the thing.
judged.
Like, I get that she doesn't want it to look like
know.
he's favoring him because of their relationship, but screwing him out of
is
a
worse.
position that is rightfully his is worse, or maybe just as bad, probably worse. So either way, she's letting her relationship affect, his career, and that's just crappy.
Because
Yep.
the thing is, like, he was already a well-respected captain. The only reason that he had to step down is because he had an addiction that he has taken care of.
Yeah.
That
I
is
think
the only-
Sullivan should be.
he
And now-
definitely should be.
I think you guys are more mad at Ross. I think I just understand. I think I understand where she's coming from. I don't agree with her, but I understand where she's coming from, at least.
I don't know.
But the
I am
hurt
mad
on
about it.
his face when she
Mhm.
made Theo captain, it really did like hurt my heart.
And it doesn't help that, like, I'm mad at Theo right now. Like, Theo, the last 2 or 3 episodes has taken such a dive for me, which is really weird. And it's been like out of nowhere. It's like I love him, and now I do not like him at all.
But what were we saying before? We don't know Theo. We don't know Theo. We don't know anything about him. Now we're
Yeah.
learning a lot more about him. Now we're starting not
I
to
don't
like
like
him.
him.
So
I want to go back to not knowing anything about him because
we
I
brought this upon ourselves.
because I think what I liked the most about him was the way he treated Vic.
Yeah.
And
Not
all of
this
a sudden,
episode.
he's not treating her well at all. I mean, even he gets promoted because of this thing that he did, which he didn't even really do. It was Vic that did it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even want to go. He was
No.
being such a
Annoying.
sorry, Marine.
This whole arson thing and the barbershop getting burned down has just really done something to his head. I don't know.
I just don't like this storyline at all.
I don't like that it's gone on this long. I'm like, okay, move along.
And I think it's gonna get worse. I mean, I think it's gonna get worse because I think the fact that we are all feeling this way, and I even put it out in our group, and it seems like everyone else is in agreement that this job belonged to Sullivan, definitely not to Theo. I think something's gonna go wrong.
I do too.
And there's
I don't
gonna
think
be-
he's gonna be like Captain Long.
No, I don't think so. I
Well,
think
next week-
all of this is gonna get to his head way too much.
And next week doesn't look promising already. So
Very
Yeah.
true. Very
Yeah.
true.
I don't
I don't know.
I,
Like,
this whole episode like full of disappointing stuff. I think I have to mention one thing though that was not disappointing that I adored, and it was Andy and Eli's date night. Even though it wasn't that much of a date, I love him.
that was so cute.
I mean,
that
he
was really
came in
cute.
and really rolled with it. I mean, it was clear she completely forgot about their date. She was not ready to do anything. He was ready to fix her dinner. Nothing in the fridge. It's like, okay, cool. We'll order takeout. Like, I mean, he was just, you couldn't ask for anything better, I don't think.
I think he understands her line of work, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
But,
best.
I think a lot of guys still would have had some sort of like ego trip as far as like, so you forgot about this, you didn't cancel on me. I don't know. I think it could have easily went a different direction, but he just rolled with it. And I was
Well, also that was I feel
perfect.
like that was her reaction too, of the honest,
Mhm.
holy crap, I forgot. He's
Yeah.
at least a real enough person to see that and be like, okay, she forgot. Like,
Yeah.
There would be a lot of people, men and women, who would get their egos hurt if somebody forgot about a date. So it does take somebody strong, and that is who Andy needs.
Yeah. I'm
Is
looking
somebody
forward
who
to their
understands
relationship.
that she's going to forget half the things she said she was going to do.
Yeah, she lives a busy life, and he probably understands it because he probably lives a very busy life too with the kind of career that he's in. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to more with them. So we looking forward to seeing more with Andy and Eli, definitely.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing more of like Theo as captain because like I said, I don't think it's gonna go well. And I think next week, I mean, it show. I mean, like we're already seeing like cracks and that things are not going to pan out the way that they should.
We all saw this coming, so I'm not. I saw it coming before, as soon as she said he would be acting captain. Like I knew this wasn't going to go great.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll just have to see. I mean, it looks a little bit intense next week, but I feel like they did that to us on purpose.
Maybe they can stage another mutiny against Theo.
Oh my gosh.
We better not, though.
I hope they learned their lesson the first time.
Right. But I mean, I think even in the preview, like it shows like Theo saying like, oh, we need to check the structure damage, do all these things. And it's Sullivan that's like, no, we can't wait. I mean, it's clear that he is the better, and maybe we will see that he is clearly the better person for this job. I'd love to see this not drag out and let Sully get the job that he deserves.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And hopefully, hopefully we'll have to see next week.
It just makes no sense for Theo to have this job. Like, I really don't understand what Ross's thought process was.
Like, yeah, because in my opinion, he's not even like an authoritative figure either. So like
he's like the newest 119.
Yeah, and I understand he's had captain experience before, but that didn't turn out very well the first time. So I mean,
maybe
I don't
about to find out why that didn't go so well.
I feel like this would be like putting Jack in charge. And I love Jack. I don't see him as authoritative. Like I don't think people are going to follow him.
They respect him, but I don't see them respecting him enough to, I
don't think he's a leader.
Captain. Yeah. I don't know if he even wants to be captain.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay to not be leadership material. I mean, I think you're still a well-respected member of the team. I don't see him in charge, but
we'll have to see. Well, yeah, I think that's all for Station 19 this week. We can jump into Grey's.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, the 12th episode. Pick Yourself Up. I always try to figure out the songs when I looked at Station 19 before we started, but I didn't look at Grey's.
I don't know that one, I don't think.
Before you go. Is it that one? No.
That's
Wake Me Up.
Wake Me Up. Good try.
Desperately trying to figure out the song. Oh well, I'll look it up afterwards. So we got started this week, like almost exactly where we left off with Addison and Tia getting hit by the car.
And I'm glad that we were all corrected that like Addison was like, dude, it's just my shoulder. Like I'm good. Like,
I got a little bit worried about her.
I don't know. I was convinced last week. I was like, no, I saw. She did not get hurt. She's fine. And she was.
She was, thankfully.
Yeah.
After Link reset her shoulder without sedation, I mean, she was fine.
Yeah. Which, the thing is, though, like, I mean, I feel like, yes, you probably would, like, somebody like me, like, give me sedation or whatever. But, like, we see it on these shows all these time. These doctors, like, pop it back in. Like, it's obviously, it looks like it's fine. It's going to hurt like crazy for like the second that it happens. And then it's okay. Right? Is that actually how? I don't know. I've never done this.
I've never done it. I have no idea.
I've never done it, but I'm pretty sure if it ever happened to me, I'd be like, no, give me all the drugs, knock me out, to be asleep.
And we saw
be like, oh, look, my shoulder is magically healed.
Look, I mean, all I'm saying is if I think back to Chicago Med, if Dr. Marcel can literally like pop it back in himself and then perform like surgery out there on that train, like she's good.
She's good. She's fine.
Fine. Yeah.
Fine. Okay. But also Amelia's reaction. I mean, we didn't obviously hear any words or anything, but her face dropping and just running, it just really did something to my heart. But I haven't felt like that way towards Amelia in a long time. She's just kind of one of those meh characters now. But I love that little scene of her, that passion. Like again, you never see passion from her anymore. I think that's it.
I think that, and I liked, she even made that comment, whoever she was talking to, that someone felt sorry for the three sisters she really got. And, she mentioned, that Addison, Maggie, and Meredith were sort of that replacement. And I was like, that's really sweet. Which, I mean, we all knew that, but at the same time, like, it was nice to hear her say it.
I've been loving seeing Meredith and Addison interacting a lot on Addison's visits, because I understand they probably showed that a lot on Private Practice, which I never watched.
Yeah.
So as someone who's never watched Private Practice, it's not really something that we get a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's not really portrayed in Grey's it hasn't been portraying Greys as well before, like how close they really are.
Mhm.
So it's nice that they're kind of, touching on that a lot more with Addison's visits.
Yeah, I mean, because before they were friends, before private practice, before anything, they were sisters in
Mhm.
laws.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've gone back so many years. I don't know. I liked it.
So yes, I mean, I don't know. Addison was good. Tia was not good. Tia had me really stressed out, honestly. Even
Yeah.
though we didn't know her, I think just the fact that she was like a pregnant woman, like it had me like really upset because I was afraid, like, I don't know, the baby, what they say, like 28 weeks. I was like, that's little, guys. Like, I mean, I know it's possible, but it's scary.
It is very scary. And I don't know, I felt a little bit better when she came around. She's like, I understand what you guys are saying. Like,
Yeah,
say it. I would hate to be in an emergency situation and actually understand what they're all saying.
exactly.
Would,
I mean,
I
you
would
think
hate
you
that.
want to know, but maybe
No.
you don't want to know. Like sometimes I think I want to know, but like, well, maybe I
It makes
don't.
it worse if if you're a doctor and you know everything that could go wrong and you're the one in that emergency situation, it's like that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah. Really, they're throwing numbers around and everything. At this point, I'm like, I know a little bit of
Sometimes I
like,
feel like I know though, because we've watched so many medical shows that I'm like, no, I know that's not good, right?
But still, I at least can be like, well, I only watch a lot of TV. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. But like if you're an actual doctor and these
I know.
numbers are like being thrown around at you, it can be like, oh my God, like, hello, I know what that means.
oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I was really stressed out. And then, on top of like being stressed out about Tia and about her baby, Connor, which I love that she
No.
like gave his name. I think I like that, because it kind of allowed them to sort of, put something,
Mhm.
And
make
she-
it more personal.
And it was that she'd shared that information with them before, so they had something
Yeah.
call him while his parents were, otherwise occupied.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can I say, like, I was so excited about, like, and I mean, I know there was a stressful scene with, like, the surgery, but watching, like, Addison's there with her arm in a sling, obviously she can't really do anything, but, like, watching her kind of give instructions while Karina's, like, doing the C-section, it's all amazing. Like, it was just to see, like, both of those two, who I
Mm-hmm.
think are amazing, and then Joe, like, all of them kind of working there together. I was like, this powerful group of women makes me so excited right now. I loved it.
It does. Joe has like very quickly become one of my favorite characters.
Same. And Joe was not a favorite. Like I never disliked her, but I was just like, meh, I don't see it when other
Same.
people would talk about how much they loved her.
Same.
Something happened. It's as soon as she became an OB, like it's like it was exactly where she belonged. And
She grew up. I feel like she more grew up.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But I love, she probably is my favorite female character on the show now.
Yeah. No, I
She's
fully
my
agree
favorite
with that.
character in general, I think, on the show.
I think so with me too. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
if I'm thinking now, could one of the interns come in and take that spot? Yes. But it's too soon. I can't,
Mhm.
after 12 episodes, I can't call you a favorite character when the show's
No.
been around for 19
So,
years.
Lucas is getting there pretty
Take your
quickly,
turn.
if I'm being honest. He's getting there super fast.
Yeah. And we are renewed for season 20.
And if you had talked to me last year, I would have been like, really?
I know, but now I'm
like,
excited.
okay, sounds fun. So I don't know. I just really enjoyed that. I enjoyed also like kind of the after scene, like after kind of everything. I mean, why it was like way later on, but I mean, Joe, like we're talking about Joe, the way she just held it together for so long, and they get in that elevator, and Link is like, you don't have to like hold it in anymore, and she just breaks down. Oh my gosh, though, it just was amazing though, just the way that he knew her so well that he was like, you don't, like, you're good, you don't have to pretend anymore, and that she felt so comfortable with him to just let it all
I
out.
wanted him to like scoop her up, though.
I
He
know.
kind of just sat, like, knelt down, like, in front of her, like, really awkwardly, and, like, looked at her. I'm like, you
Hug
You know,
her.
like hug her.
like, do something.
But, like, embrace her, hug her.
Yeah.
Do something. But no, he's just sitting there looking at her. I'm like, this is weird. Like, you need to do something.
I just
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to
at
go,
least,
hello,
like,
this is an elevator in Grace.
I
Hello.
know. It was still
I
a
don't
powerful
think-
scene, even though it wasn't like
It was.
spicy. It was still very emotionally
It was.
like, I think it was good.
I felt so bad for Tia too when she woke up, because imagine being pregnant and crashing, and then the next time you wake up, you wake up to see that you're not pregnant anymore. Like that has to
I
be.
started crying at that moment, if I'm being honest. Like Shelby asked me, she's like, why? Because she was worried something happened when I said that in our chat. I was like, no, it was happy tears, but like maybe it's the mom in me. But like this Tia storyline, I felt all of her emotions so strongly that I was just like, no, I cried, like, because that would have been so stressful.
And I wanted her husband to get there so bad.
I know, me too. And
Which, by the way,
yeah,
shout out this week. I know most of us didn't realize who he was until Eve. Did you send it?
So who was he?
I think you sent it, and then
He was the guy from High School Musical.
Zeke.
Which guy though?
Zeke.
Oh,
The guy the one who likes
his
to
best
bake.
friend.
He likes to bake.
He likes to bake.
I see. I look okay because I'm older than y'all. So High School Musical is not. I'm not as into it as you all. Like I've seen it. I'm not like obsessed. I recognized him. Evil know it from the Fosters. It's AJ's older brother, too.
Oh, that was the
That's
same.
what I recognized him as.
Oh, I just learned a few seconds ago that that he was also on the Fosters. I didn't realize that was him.
But now I think, but that's probably he probably looked more like he does now on the Fosters than I mean like the High School Musical. Now I see it. Now that you all say it, but I just didn't. Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah.
I honestly, if I did not see that, it was a TikTok. I didn't find it. Somebody else found it. Maybe
Shelby
Jolie
found it. Or Jolie. Yeah, maybe.
Well, she said, I was like, holy crap, that is him. So
Yeah.
that was a little bit of exciting because usually I can pinpoint those people. I'm like, oh, I know them. No regulation.
Yeah.
Recognition?
I don't know.
I don't even know what word you're going for.
No.
I don't know what you're trying to say, so.
No recollection. Recollection.
There you go. Okay.
No recollection. It wasn't coming to me.
It's kind of funny.
No, but
yeah.
That was a nice surprise. I enjoyed it. I liked him. He was really sweet too.
He was so good with, her, and then they even like FaceTimed little Connor from the NICU, which was sweet. But yeah, no, like her breakdown when she woke up and he was like, no, he's fine. I felt that so hard.
Yeah.
I also felt like there was another, like Mika's breakdown, which really upset me that no one noticed until Richard. Like Levi, I was like, Levi, do you look at her? Like she's shaking and like you're ordering her to go do stuff. Like be aware that like, I mean, I know nothing happened. Like, I don't know. I was really appreciative. Richard is someone that Richard's fine, but Richard is like this character that the whole time for me has just been like, man, I know Amanda's way, like she loves Richard and I don't not love Richard, but something about this week just really, I was like, thank you for saying that because she was hurt and it's like, it's still a traumatic event that you've just watched and like, you can't be mad at yourself for reacting this way because it's traumatic.
She's a doctor and she just saw these terrible things happen to other doctors. So it would make sense that, she's a little shaky, and it's kind of weird to me that everyone there isn't thinking, let's check up on each other and make sure everybody's good.
Yeah, because everybody's going to react differently. I mean, and that's okay. One reaction isn't wrong compared to the other. I mean, like when you think about Blue, he did get hit in the head with a brick, but he was ready to jump right back in. That's okay. Like, I loved Amelia in that scene too, though, when she was like, will everyone stop saying this about being okay? Hear this lady, she's a neurologist. She's like, we're going to need to check for a head injury, please. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that was funny.
I'm glad she said it because I was thinking it.
Yeah,
like you got hit in the head with a brick. You guys are not even going to scan him just to make sure before he goes and treats human beings.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, is that not protocol when one gets hit in the head with a brick? Like,
yeah. And maybe it's just everything else happening. It just sort of got like,
I'm sure,
forgotten and missed. But I mean, I'm glad Amelia was there. Like, no, please, everyone, stop saying this. Like, let's go check you out.
Yeah.
If we can go back to Addison for a second, because I really like her conversation with Amelia, because she was talking about how almost ironic it is. I don't know if that's the correct word,
Yeah.
but it's how interesting it is that she's being so harshly targeted
Yeah.
for performing what is pretty much her least common procedure that she does in the PRT in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she said something that, I'm sure is resonating with a lot of people in the same position, like teachers, doctors, nurses, whoever's been, police officers, all of that.
Yeah.
Remember, being a doctor was considered heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I don't know.
no,
It's just still unbelievable to me, people acting out like this. Like, I want to know, like, is that actually happening to doctors?
I
Like,
think so.
it's
Probably.
just like not something like you hear about. Like, why are we not hearing about it really then?
I wish we heard more about it so that it was getting more attention, because I'm sure it is happening, especially in, states where they have the bans up and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's not something I see in the news a lot. I wish I did.
I'd like some more information about it. But also, Addison needed to not only Blue, but Addison needed to get checked out too, because she really wasn't checked out properly. But Link telling Lucas he'll make him pay.
Well, Lucas's life kind of seemed to depend on Addison getting checked out, so that seemed pretty important to me. I love how Lucas was relaying that information, because it was just so nonchalant the way he was saying it. It's like, Link also told me to tell you that he's going to make me pay with my life if you don't get checked out. I'm like, I don't know. I think I'd be a little more panicked if my life depended on, someone else doing what they were supposed to.
But she did. She listened. She went and got checked out, which gave Lucas and Simone a little time together.
I am like absolutely obsessed with them. I've already had in my head, I'm going to make a TikTok of some sort, because I'm like, I'm into it.
Do it.
I want them.
Do it
so much.
A lot of times.
Yes.
We need some new Grace TikToks.
I know. Gotta get back into it. But no, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, and I love how after everything Addison went through this episode, and probably, months before that, she heads back, gets into the PRT, and off she goes to keep doing her job. Because like she said last episode, she said, I can't stop.
Yeah. That's her. Didn't she have a kid though?
She's got a kid. Yeah.
She said that her husband and her son are staying like with his sister or something, because they found out where she lives.
Which is crazy.
Like, don't you people have better things to do? Like, don't you have lives?
Well, either way, don't threaten somebody's family just because you don't agree with something they're doing. Like, my goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
What have they ever done to you?
They're a person, a human being. This was a rough day for everybody. We had Ben and Maya, who rushed into the hospital. Teddy ended up having to get him in. That was kind of funny.
I liked, but you know what? I mean, I feel that security guard though. Like, I mean, no one was supposed to be allowed in there. Like, I don't care that you all are first responders. Like, but I mean, obviously, I do think that anyone whose family was endangered there, their loved ones should be allowed to come in. And so I'm glad that Teddy jumped up there and was like, with me.
And I love how she didn't even escort them. She was like, "Okay, come on in, guys. I have work to do. Just goodbye.
Bye."
you know where you're going.
But Karina was really awkward. I feel like she was too awkward with Maya after last week. It was weird to me.
I agree. I felt like that one didn't fit. I thought, at least, I understand she's having a stressful day and you're busy. Got it. Like, can you give her like a quick hug? I mean, she's like literally ran there.
Like, that was weird. I didn't like that.
I thought that was strange.
After last week,
when we made progress.
Yeah. It was just very odd of how they did that.
I was very confused, because I was like, didn't they get somewhere and now they're going way backwards again?
Yeah.
I'm really confused about what their game plan is as far as Maya and Karina, because it
seems all over the place. Yeah.
We'll have to see what they're doing. I don't know. I can't figure it out. But Ben runs in, sees Bailey going into the surgery, and I loved her reaction.
Yes.
She knew. She
Mhm.
knew he was terrified, scared to death. Like she knew
Mhm.
all that, and she just gave him that reassuring,
It's like, I'm okay.
like, I'm okay. I was like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love, I mean, maybe this makes me a terrible person. I don't know, but I loved Maya's reaction when Teddy said, "Oh yeah, Karina's in surgery." She was like, "What? No, she's like doing
She's
surgery."
doing surgery.
doing surgery.
Maya, like, I know you're a little panicked, but take a deep breath. Your
I mean,
wife
that was a
surgeon.
bad way for Teddy to word that, though, considering they didn't
Yeah,
know like who was hit and what was going on.
That was a pretty unfortunate way to word it, but I just thought it was funny that she panicked. She's like, no, she's doing surgery. She's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Thankfully. Oh my goodness. Imagine the heart attack you'd have.
No,
But after
definitely.
that, we also had kind of a more light-hearted mini episode, which really made me mini episode, not mini episode, mini scene
Mhm.
part. I don't know. Anyways, with Jules and her
Her
roommate.
roommate.
I love that. I don't know why, but I love that her roommate is a senior citizen. I just
I
think it's fabulous.
Well, I also love it because I think we are definitely setting up a way for both her and Blue to end up at Merida's house because obviously, I mean, she's got a 90-year-old roommate. He said he lives all alone. So, like, I think we're setting up a way to possibly get them into the house with the others, which I think would be really fun too.
I don't know if Blue. I think Jules will move in. I don't know about
Well,
Blue.
he acted like he could because they said that it was something about money, and he was basically like, "No, I mean, I live alone." So, I mean, it sounded like he wouldn't mind to have like someone to help him pay some bills. So I
Maybe.
think there was
Yeah.
at least a way, or maybe at the very least those two living together, because I mean we've seen that they have some hookups going on. Like I think maybe that would help progress them forward a little too.
Hopefully.
This did start out really funny with Jules being assigned to essentially babysit him. And
Yes.
he's sitting there in the MRI or whatever scan he was getting. I don't remember. He's just sitting there. He's like, "Hey guys, hello." And I'm sitting there thinking, just for fun, can someone just leave him in there? And
Well, what did he say? He's like, this seems to take a lot longer when you're on the other side of this. And I'm like, exactly. Like I just had one of these CTs done on my face when it was all swollen. Like it's like literally no time at all. It feels like so long.
Because you have to stay still. That's
Yeah,
hard for humans to
it
do.
feels awful. And you're just, I mean, you're surrounded by all this. There's all kinds of, I will admit that this time I had an MRI done one time for something else, and that was a lot longer, and I was all the way in it.
Ooh.
So, like, it was very claustrophobic, at least with the CT of my face. Like, it was literally just my head was in it. So, like, it didn't feel quite as bad, but
Yeah.
it's a
No,
lot.
I don't want one of those. I'm good. We have a little bit of senior citizen gonorrhea going on, which
It
is
always
a good
cracks me up
callback.
when we do these storylines on these shows.
so funny. I love that.
The guy coming in.
When they went to, they were like, "Oh, we got to call like your partners." I was like, "It's gonna be the same person." I just knew it. And of course, Happy Hal, or Happy House and Happy, I'm assuming, he gets around apparently. I loved it.
Busy man.
He is.
He was hilarious. That whole thing was hilarious.
And and it's not like he was even ashamed of it. He was just like, "Okay, there's this person and this person and this person." It's like, dude.
Mm-hmm.
At that age, why would you care?
I mean, I think that's sort of what her speech was about later, though, that like as women, I feel like we're our whole lives we're judged by every single thing we do, either direction, like, and then when you get to be that old, she's like, everybody forgets about it. So it's like, yeah, you're invisible. So you have some fun with it. Who cares at this point? Like, do what you want to do, girl.
Yeah, why not?
Just, be safe about it.
Yeah, I mean, you should definitely, let's not spread gonorrhea everywhere, but, whatever. Did you all recognize her, by the way? Did anybody ever watch Passions back in the day? Oh, I need Maureen on here. She'll know when she edits this. It was like the old like witchy woman that like I won't even try to explain Passions because it's stupid.
Which one? Her roommate or the one in the bed?
Her roommate.
Oh, see, the one in the bed looked familiar to me.
She looked familiar too, but I knew the other one because, like I said, I mean, Passion's the dumbest soap opera that was ever created, but I enjoyed it. So it had. This is where your boy Jesse, what's his name, got started. one that we were talking about on Chesapeake Shores.
Oh,
Jesse
Jesse
Miller.
Metcalf.
And he started on Passions too.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we also really need to talk about Waggy.
I'm so done with Waggy.
I am so done with Waggy, but we also saw the kind of setup
Mm-hmm.
of her leaving.
Surprisingly, though, in this interaction this week, I feel like Winston was too hard on her.
I didn't.
Because, like, she's sitting here telling you that that's not all she said, that she said other stuff. She can't be held responsible for the way they edit the article.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the things Maggie's done, like,
I agree.
this time I think he
Yeah,
was, but I think it's because of the place they were in
exactly.
that caused him to react so much.
Okay, well, I do agree that he was kind of a little hard on her as far as the article goes,
Mhm.
but I still agree with him about, on him just not believing Maggie when she said, "Oh, I do respect you." It's like, well, it doesn't really
Yeah.
count.
Yeah,
if you're
that's the part that I
saying
was like,
And he said, "This is what it's going to take to fix it."
You know what, though? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make some people mad here with my next comment.
oh no.
Oh man.
I feel like their situation could very easily be compared to Meredith and Derek's relationship and the way that Derek treated Meredith a lot of the times. But yet, Derek is viewed as some sort of like God, regardless of how he treated her. But Maggie, I mean, it's very similar to how Maggie treats Winston, and we're all mad at her over it.
I don't see that.
You're a liar because you know you didn't. You just don't want to. I mean, isn't there even, I feel like there even was a storyline where Derek got the credit for something that Meredith absolutely helped him out with.
Yeah, that was the case. I know. I see it. Shut up.
And it's not just you. I feel like it's one of these like things where like a woman is not, and I mean, I'm not a Maggie
I
fan.
like
I'm not
Derek more
sitting-
than I like Maggie.
Well, and I'm not trying to sit here and defend her because I'm cool with her leaving. Like I'm not a big fan of her, but I think it's another situation where a man is held to different standards than a woman is.
Absolutely.
And I don't like that part. So
Well, none of us do.
just saying.
None of us do.
People
I
are
mean,
gonna be mad at me for saying that, but I think it's very similar situations.
and I agree. As big of a Derek fan as I am, I agree with you on that part.
Yeah. Now
But
Derek
it's
did
the
a
fact that
better
it's
job.
Derek was just
He did a better job of making up for it afterwards, I think, than she does. But she's always been sort of that cold, analytical type. Like she's not one that's ever shown any emotion. So I don't think that we can expect her to do that. I just think her and Winston are a bad fit. So I'm totally fine for them splitting up.
Maybe we'll love Winston even more once, Maggie's gone.
Maybe.
Which it looks like that's happening within the next few episodes because
yeah.
the preview looked like a big setup for her exit, which I'm kind of bummed about. I assumed that she'd be going to Boston.
She's going to Chicago. apparently.
Chicago. Okay.
Maybe she could
Maybe she's going to med.
Yeah.
We don't need that. We don't need that. Although, maybe, I don't know.
How funny would it be though? Just Zero walking by.
I want to see her and why am I blanking?
Dr. Marcel?
I want to see her and Marcel like butt heads because I feel like never mind. Maybe I don't want to see that because I feel like the whole place would explode.
Mhm. Yeah.
We don't need all that. But we do see her in therapy next week.
Yeah.
I mean, why did it take so long for them to get to therapy? Well, actually, I do know because of Maggie.
Yeah. And I wonder though, because of the therapy, like, is Winston going to go with her? Like, are they going to work it out to the point that I mean, I don't care either way, if I'm being honest. Like,
We haven't heard anything
you
about
gotta
him
do.
leaving though.
yeah. But he's also not as big of a character, so I'm not sure if that would be a huge announcement like it was for.
I think if they were both leaving at the same time, I think they would have announced him the same time that they were announcing her.
Maybe.
But maybe
unless
they also want to keep that a little bit of secret. They could do that to us too.
Yeah.
I don't really care enough about their relationship. Like, I care about Winston. Like, I've started to really like
I
him.
do like him.
But I don't care enough about this relationship to even care if they're going to stay together or not.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
I would love for Maggie to take off and leave Winston behind, and we just get to hang out with him.
Yeah.
I think he could do a lot better. And I think she's just too much circled in her own world to
Mhm.
have a relationship. I mean, sorry, but
Agree.
And
I
also,
think she
this
did-
girl who keeps getting run over by bulls next week just is an insane storyline that I'm actually looking very forward to.
Yeah. Didn't they say again? Like
Yeah.
more than once? Like
Wait, this has happened more than once?
that's crazy.
Just keeps happening. I don't know why.
I just hate it when you get trampled by bulls. Like, it just happens all the time.
You know what? If you keep going around them, you are going to keep getting trampled by them. So
I mean,
So
that is
scary.
kind of what bulls do, right?
sounds like a user error to me.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Definitely.
I think that's all we have
That'll be-
tonight.
That is it. So that will be interesting. So make sure come check out our Facebook group. I mean, we're trying to start discussing these episodes more on there. So we'd love to hear your thoughts about it. So come check out our Facebook group. It's Grey's Anatomy Grey Family Fan Club. Make sure that you are liking the episode, make sure you're subscribing because this is how we get better content. And also subscribing, you won't miss upcoming episodes. We've got our Sundays, which we cover 911 and 911 Lone Star for now. Maybe The Resident if it comes back. We don't know about that for sure yet. So we don't know. Tuesdays is our One Chicago night. And then, of course, Wednesdays, you know, are Grey's Anatomy. So make sure to come back and check all those out. And we'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Loving our content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to share our podcast with your family and friends. We want to continue the conversation with you. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok under Fandom Family Chats, or one of our ever-growing Facebook groups by searching Family Fan Club. We've also launched a website, Family Fan Club 2021 at wixsite.com. You can email us there and keep checking it for announcements and merch coming soon. And of course, be sure to tune in every week for new episodes discussing all your favorite shows.